Yeah, I'm stretching. I'm getting limber. I'm getting limber, baby, for this show. All right, we are on the air.
Yeah.
Script is over there. All right. We ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. Let's make the magic happen, baby.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. What does a porg taste like? Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am Jon, and I am joined, as ever, by Stugots.
Me. Join me.
I think there's one or two things we got to get out of the way before we hit the Star Wars talk, because Star Wars is Star Wars. First, this is episode 50.
Whoa.
And last year, we took off a week for the holidays, which we're going to do again next week.
Yes.
And we missed one show for personal reasons. And that happens. So it's been 52 weeks of Geekodrome.
Jesus.
This is now our anniversary show.
Wow.
Of Geekodrome.
Said it wouldn't last.
For sure. How you feeling on our paper anniversary, Stugat?
Wow. That's pretty cool.
I know.
I bet we have so many more listeners today, I'm sure, than we did then.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Yes.
It's the phenom. It's the sensation.
It's sweeping the nation, baby.
Oh, yeah. It's what all the kids are talking about. You know. So it's worth noting that we have survived a year, already planning for year 2.
Year 2, baby.
Coming. Big things coming. But we're going to still take the holidays off.
Are we taking both Christmas week and New Year's week off, or?
No, just Christmas week. We'll be back a little late New Year's week because New Year's Day is Monday. There's no way we're...
I work that Monday because I got to work holidays.
All right, so works out even better. So we'll look to do Tuesday or Wednesday that week.
Awesome.
Seeing how we feel, seeing what our schedules look like.
Yeah.
I know I go back to work on Tuesday, so it'll be exciting stuff. There's other major piece of news that we need to touch on because we touched on it previously, but it's so big that the official word, Disney buying Fox. It's a bigly. Basically, they're getting all of the IP assets and all the TV channels are spinning off into a separate company. So we are getting the Marvel. We are getting the Star Wars A New Hope. We are getting Aliens, Terminator, Avatar, The Simpsons.
Man, we're going to have a Wolverine versus Terminator movie.
You know, I'd pay to see that.
It's going to be Wolverine versus Terminator versus Predator. And for some reason, Adrian Brody's going to be in it.
Well, he was in one of the Predator movies, wasn't he?
He was in Alien versus Predator.
That's the one.
That's what I mean. This one, he has no reason to be in it, but he's going to be in it anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be exciting stuff. Millions and millions of dollars changing hands.
Millions and millions. Actually, I think it's billions.
It probably is billions.
I think it's 60 billion.
Yeah, I forgot to write down the number, but I know it's in the billions. I know it's more than the Star Wars 4 billion.
So I do have a question. Like you said, the TV properties are going to go into their own company. But what happens with... All right, so now, like, The Simpsons are now going to be Disney, right?
Yeah, so all of the creation is leaving the company, is going to be one company.
Right.
And all of the distribution will be a separate one. So Disney is buying creation. They're buying all the IP rights, all of the characters, all of that.
So, like, when there's another 3 years of The Simpsons, that's still Disney.
That is Fox contracting Disney. Because Fox, the TV channel, will be part of that other company.
Right.
So it's Fox, Fox Network, Fox News, whatever.
Nobody wants that shit.
Yeah, whatever. It's all propaganda. Propagandy, if you will.
Propaganda. Propaganda, we're not going to be eating until the children lose. Propaganda.
So
Propaganda always wipes his feet off before he walks into your home. He's propaganda.
Exactly.
Propaganda does not eat with his elbows at the table. He's propaganda.
What else does propaganda do?
Propaganda always puts the toilet seat down after he urinates in case a woman is following behind him to use the restroom to relieve her bladder. He's propaganda.
Oh, that's really awkward when he's trying to use a urinal, though.
Propaganda doesn't always use the urinal because he does not like to get pee on his bare feet because he does not wear shoes. He's propaganda.
Well, doesn't he wear sandals?
Pee on his feet.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Propaganda always looks twice before crossing the street. He's propaganda. I'll just stop because I'll just keep going.
I know. That's why I figure every time I say something,
going.
You're just going to interrupt me into another one.
And we'll do that for an hour, and then we're like, "Hey, we never got to Star Wars, but we got propaganda."
Oh my god, that's our new spin-off show.
Yes, the life and times and adventures of propaganda.
So, how do you feel about this deal going down?
I mean, it was predicted in an episode of The Simpsons back in '98 that this is what would happen.
Yeah.
You know, I always, you always hear those stats of there's like 6 media companies that run all the media. And sooner or later, it's just going to be Disney that runs all the media.
Yeah, I mean, all the media production, at least, if not the distribution.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're just trying to get as much content as possible so they can put it on their streaming service next year.
Are you going to subscribe?
Maybe for a month or two. I'll check it out. It also depends on what they launch with. If it's just, hey, we're going to have, the classic Disney movies and maybe some old school Mickey Mouse Club with Annette and Frankie and Connie, maybe.
Well,
but if it's not like if that's what they're going to have, that would be cool to see. But that's not what's going to get me. It's going to be original content that's going to get me to subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be good original content, but it has to be a mix because kids today don't want to watch Frankie and Annette.
Yeah, they don't even know who the hell that is.
So it would be cool to see that, but I think we'll also see like High School Musical.
Yes.
Which I thought I saw a rumor a while ago that they're trying to turn that into a series because that was originally just 3 movies.
I saw that too this week.
Which obviously, and I think that's supposed to be part of that new streaming service.
And I was like, when I first saw that, I was like, "Well, we had Glee."
I never watched either, but like
it's the same thing.
I know, but I have no interest in either.
We're not the demographic on that.
I mean, there is the rumor of a live-action Star Wars series on there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Marvel series on there because there's so many of them now. I mean,
I'd like to see, but if you're going to do something with Marvel, it's got to be something totally different. I would really like to see something from the 2099 universe.
That would be interesting. I know what a big fan you are of 2099.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was very hit or miss, but there was a lot of good stuff going there.
Man, a Ghost Rider 2099 series would be pretty cool with the robot.
It would be, but it would also be really expensive to do live action.
Oh, yeah, a lot of effects. The flame alone is an effect. It's a digital.
Well, I mean, the whole thing would be CG because,
yeah.
I mean, how else would you get like a skeleton like that, like a cyber skeleton, as opposed to like what they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
You can't have Hulk 2099. A regular Punisher, so having a Punisher 2099 won't work.
Well, I don't know if they can have Hulk. They just can't do a standalone movie with him.
Hulk 2099, I just feel like would just be a lot of CGI. You know.
That's true.
Um,
I mean, the whole thing was really CGI because there's flying cars and everything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
I mean, there's no cheap way.
All right, so that's a bad idea. Never mind.
I'd love to see X-Men 2099.
I'd love to see Ravage, the whole different hero that we don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing for like fanboys to bitch about if they change something.
Man, most of them don't remember Ravage anyway.
What I mean, it's perfect. All of a sudden, though, the purists will be coming out of the woodwork and, I read every issue and toiled over it. You guys are messing this up.
Oh, that's good. It was only canceled after, what, 8 issues? So you were a real big fanboy.
I think it went more than that because they did that year for all of them. Maybe 15. I'll guess 15.
Yeah, I know it was one of the early canceled ones. I'm trying to look quickly.
I'll say 15.
Universe it ran for 33 issues.
Oh, wow.
And an annual, it looks like.
Wow.
But hey, he was created by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
So, I would tune in for whatever. I mean, if I'll tune in the beginning, see if there's anything good. But supposedly, like they're going to keep any more adult stuff off it and on a different network, like Netflix or something like that, or Hulu. Well, they are going to own 60% of Hulu.
Yeah.
With this deal, so like the more adult stuff will probably end up on Hulu, because I think they'll keep it child friendly.
Yeah, their network will be as child friendly as possible. What what stuff would they feel is adult only? Like The Punisher?
Definitely Punisher. Logan wouldn't appear on that network.
Okay.
Deadpool. It's looking like this New Mutants movie wouldn't. So I mean, there's enough to fill. I mean, Disney owns a lot of properties.
Yeah.
Remember, they owned like a lot of like indie films because they had one of their arms was doing indie films in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And
Yeah.
then Touchstone Pictures.
Touchstone. Yeah.
So I believe that's Ruthless People right off the bat.
Yeah, a lot of mainstream movies from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot going on there. So it's interesting.
Wait, which one was Disney? Was it New Line or Touchstone?
I think both actually. No,
no way.
No, New Line was independent. Miramax was Weinstein.
Yeah. I guess it was Touchstone.
Touchstone was like big in movies like that. I don't know if that one was necessarily. Oh, New Line was Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay. So then which one was Disney? Because I know they had like a regular one as well. Like they did the same thing.
Yeah. Touchstones was Disney. Started in February of 1984. Okay. Just a list of their pictures quickly. Just hitting the major ones: Splash, Down and Out in Beverly Hills,
Oh man,
People, Tough Guys, Color of Money, Outrageous Fortune.
Such a good movie.
Oh, it was. Like I said, I'm only hitting the good ones here.
Yeah,
They did the Ernest movies.
Yeah.
But Adventures in Babysitting, Stakeout,
oh, man.
Can't Buy Me Love, 3 Minute Baby, Good Morning Vietnam, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Cocktail, Beaches, Dead Poets Society, Turner and Hooch, and that's just the 80s, and that's only like half of them. Pretty Woman. Yeah. Well, they get a little worse in the 90s. Betsy's Wedding. Most of these I don't even want to talk about. What About Bob? The Rocketeer, which I love.
Love The Rocketeer.
Love that movie. Father of the Bride, which was a funny movie. Sister Act. Teach Their Own. I mean, there's so many movies here. I'm skipping so many. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Wow.
Cabin Boy. I don't know if you want to talk about that one, but I loved it, but it was awful.
Yes.
Ed Wood. The Jerky Boys movie. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so many movies here. I'm just Starship Troopers, uh, and they're even making movies to this day. It looks like not so many. Like they put out one in 2016.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so really into the 2010s, they kind of slowed down around 2015, 2014. But
I guess that's when Disney was really starting to buy up these other companies, and maybe they had that mindset of, we don't even need to do this anymore with a separate company.
yeah, plus they released a lot as Disney and whatever. So, all right, well, we'll keep an eye on this. In the meantime, another Disney property happens to be Star Wars.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, it is.
I expected to jump in there, but so I hate you. So, what did you think of this movie?
I have mixed emotions. It the first like 15, 20 minutes, I felt jumped around a little too quickly while they tried to catch you up on who was where. I don't know how, like, do you want to go into any spoilers or anything?
We will, but first we're doing the
All right.
overall opinion.
Yeah, I was mixed. It was good, but not great. If I was ranking the movies, in the top three for me.
What are your top three then?
Uh, Empire, definitely, and
Mhm.
then Star Wars, and then like A New Hope,
Yeah,
and then The Force Awakens.
interesting. Yeah, so I liked it. I thought it was definitely a departure from Star Wars, like the previous
Yeah,
movies. And that's part of what I liked about it, that it wasn't so beholden
right.
to what came before. Like, I mean, there's a lot of outrage. Like, people like don't like it because it's so different. But these are the
No,
same
I didn't
people who
have a problem
complain.
with that.
Yeah, I know, but it's the same people who complained that, you know, The Force Awakens was too close to Star Wars and was
Yeah,
practically a
yeah.
remake. So it's like you can't win
No,
with the internet crowd. But yeah, overall, I liked it. I think certain parts could have been better, could have reworked better, could have been shorter. It didn't need to be 2.5 hours. No.
yeah.
All right, so we'll get a little more spoilery now. What did you like about the movie?
I
Things
loved
to like.
the Yoda cameo. Loved it.
Oh yeah,
I was actually sitting there before it happened saying, couldn't Yoda like project himself from the astral plane and talk to him right now? And then there he was. It was just they were building up to it, I guess. And subconsciously I just pieced it all together like, why aren't they doing that? You
right.
know?
And I love how Yoda still
Um,
calls him young Skywalker.
yes, young Skywalker. Well, you're when you're 900 years old, everyone's, young.
True, true.
Um Yeah, the Yoda cameo. I
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
kept, let's see what else. I liked Poe. I mean, I always liked Poe. I like Finn. I like how they really they stayed true to their characters, but yet at the same time, they're learning. They're learning who their role is in these franchises. With Poe is learning to be a leader and less impulsive. Um, and Finn's learning that running away is not always the best tactic.
Yeah, I agree. Especially love how Rose catches him trying to
Yeah,
escape.
yeah. And stuns him with a
Yeah,
little taser.
and she was a fun new character.
Yeah, she was.
I liked her a lot. Um, yeah, I mean, overall, I liked a lot of it. I
Mhm.
liked again how they established the characters further. I like how it was reverent to the older characters, but still evolved them a bit.
Yes.
So it took them further. Like Luke goes from being the brash Jedi to the crotchety old man,
Yes.
and
And
I
then
kind of
elder statesman.
exactly he's reluctant, and then he kind of
Hmm.
decides that you know he needs to do something.
Yes.
and ultimately makes the ultimate sacrifice to save everyone else.
What I loved about it visually, the fight on the salt planet, visually that was magnificent.
Oh, that was top
With
notch.
the
Yes.
red on the white contrast. So much. I love the Kurosawa imagery, from stuff like that. That was definitely took me back to the original film. Man, there was a lot that I liked. I'm not gonna just say it sucked because it definitely did not.
No, it didn't. Hey, it's a better movie than I would have made.
Definitely better than I would have done.
Yeah. I liked how.
See, what did you not like? What didn't you like?
I was going to just say I also liked how they established Rey and
Yeah.
Kylo, Ben,
Mm-hmm.
further along. How they're sort of two different sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
One is basically coming from royalty and falls, while the other is coming up from nothing and establishes herself.
Now, just to freestyle a little bit, do you think it's going to come up that Rey isn't just nothing to begin with?
Nope. Just like, midi-chlorians are quote unquote Anakin's father. There is no way they're going to revisit, no way they're going to change it.
Okay.
Why, did you think they'd go back on it?
Yeah. I thought they were going to when she was like staring into that ice.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I just want to see my parents. I thought there was going to be a big reveal right there.
I think that's what they wanted you to think.
Yeah.
Because that's why it was like two figures come up and then it becomes one, and it's her. And the point was just that it didn't matter where she came from.
It matters who she is.
Exactly.
But I kept waiting for that.
I know. But that's why they had Kylo do the big reveal. It's like, I know. And you've just been in denial. They sold you for beer money. Yeah. So it's just like.
that was such a shitty thing to say.
I know. That's what made it so great.
I know. I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh man, I get into her pants by saying something like that."
No, but I like it. But it also says that anybody can become a Jedi. You don't need to come from the big Jedi lineage.
Boy, the little stable boy.
And I think, but I think that's important because going forward, we're going to start a whole new generation. They don't need to come from the Skywalker bloodline.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that, again, that says a lot. And that brings us to the whole place where we're going to be in the next movie, where like kids in faraway places are going to find out that they have, power and become Jedi.
And there's no one to teach them.
Yet. Rey is going to become the elder statesman.
Yes, yeah.
Because, she did steal the books. So we saw that at the end of the movie.
The other thing I want to ask you is, do you think Snoke comes back in any way?
No, he's cut in half. He's pretty done.
Well, because everyone always thought that he was Darth Sidious, right?
Okay, so they think he's
and that he learned how to live forever and come back from death.
Possibly, but I don't think so.
I think if they were going to reveal that, they would have at that point.
Yeah, something would have been revealed somewhere in this movie.
Like a bonus scene, let's just say, an after-credit scene would have been Snoke's body somehow attaching itself.
But I think that undercuts Kylo Ren becoming,
Oh, definitely, I do. I'm just asking, going by what we see people talking about. That's all.
No, I think this is the evolution of Kylo Ren becoming the Supreme Chancellor or whatever, the Supreme Commander. And to bring Snoke back would just undercut.
Yes.
I'm slightly disappointed we had no backstory on Snoke.
Yes.
But
with all the speculation that went on as to who he really was, then I would have let the backstory.
Yeah, but to be fair, in the original trilogy, who was the Emperor?
Yeah, we didn't know. He just appeared.
We
didn't know until the second trilogy. So maybe one day we'll find out who Snoke was.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do a book at some point or something.
Yeah, but we don't read. We're Americans. We can't be bothered.
America.
We don't do reading too good.
All right. So, what did you not like about the movie?
Like the Leia saving herself in space.
Yeah, it just looked silly, and
I was waiting, and I don't mean this in a bad way at all, because I love Carrie Fisher. I love what she has meant to still means to people, more so young women. And she's always been beautiful, inside and out. I always loved how her personality and whatnot, but I kept waiting for the death scene, which again was all speculated, for a while. Of hey, we have enough footage for this entire film, and then next film maybe a funeral scene. But then it was nope, we're going to do that in this film, and this way it ties everything up going forward for that last film. And it was like, well, all right, you perfectly, she was out in space, so you perfectly tied that up, and you give her those 2 minutes of screen time to fade out. But nope, she uses the Force somehow and sucks herself back into the fucking
and flies like a space witch.
Yes, yeah.
That's all I could think of. Like,
yeah, was a broom.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't care for that either. I think it looks silly. I think it's dumb.
I don't mind even do like a thing, like if she would have hit her ear and a helmet would have came over her head like Star-Lord. That would at least made sense.
Well, you don't die immediately in space.
Right, but like she was dying.
Well, they showed her like frozen in space and then whatever. Yeah, I just it was silly. But I do like when she comes back.
The gags. It was a lot of Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote-esque humor, and why we had that so prevalent in this film where it wasn't in the last films. In any of them that I can.
Like which gag?
Like all of a sudden Ray blows a hole out in the window in the wall, and then there's these little nun-looking ladies that look like reptilian nuns fixing the wall.
Gatekeepers, yeah.
Throws the rock or smashes a boulder or something. All of a sudden, that boulder rolls down the hill and destroys their cart. I didn't see, I don't know why we needed those comedy relief moments.
It was harmless. I mean, they had them,
but there was too many of them.
All right, because I was gonna say you could say that they had them with the Jawas in A New Hope.
Right. It was much more. It was sprinkle. It was garnish. Previously, with this, it was a dish. It was too much.
Okay, no, I totally get where you're coming from. It didn't bother me. It bothered me more to go. There was a long stretch without any action.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of side plots and whatever going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind the casino planet. What was it, the Blight or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It's just that it took so long and really just drew out the movie.
At one point, when they were going to Snoke's ship to break the code, it was like, well, we only got 4 hours left. It was like, well, you wasted 18 fucking hours just getting to this Casablanca planet.
Yeah, like they could have just sped up how they met DJ.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's in prison. They got captured. He was in prison. They met each other. Boom. Or he was in the brig. And it speeds up the whole movie. I mean, it was very pretty, and it was interesting to see. It was interesting to see another aspect of the Star Wars universe.
Yes,
but just it just took so long.
The other thing I have to say I was disappointed about is there's no Lando Calrissian anymore.
I guess the closest would have been DJ.
I was actually thinking that it was going to be Lando Calrissian sitting there.
Well, that would have been cool too, to have the real Lando show up at some point.
Yeah.
Why is no Lando? Where is he now?
That's what I want to know. His best friend's dead. No one wants to tell him.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of disappointing that we've seen no real Lando. You know, I don't know how many other characters that haven't been in there that I really miss, though. You know,
Lando's definitely one that I miss.
yeah, Lando definitely. Other than that, you know, where was Nine Numb?
And Boba Fett.
We're gonna get a Boba Fett movie, but I don't know.
No, I mean like Boba. Like I'm just saying, like who haven't we seen that we? You know, if you want to, if you keep saying like, and this is what I keep reading is that hey, we're trying to tie up all the old characters, so when we launch these new characters, and I'm all for it, but tie them all up. You know,
except Boba Fett's dead.
We don't know that.
He was swallowed by the Sarlacc to be digested for 1,000 years.
Let me tell you, if you have one of the most popular characters ever in the franchise, you're not killing him off forever.
True. Well, that's something notable. There's no Boba Fett type character. Nobody who's mysterious. Nobody who's just got cool armor. I mean, we have Phasma, but she's not. She's really, because she's part of the Imperials. It just meshes her in with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't have that just cool freedom. Like, you know, love or hate him, Jango Fett is kind of interesting.
Yes.
Boba's interesting. What's her name from the beginning of episode 2, where they have the speeder chase?
Yes.
She was actually kind of interesting, even though she really did nothing. Because she did something notable. She looked cool, and then she died. But yeah, there's no like notable, just cool looking characters that just kind of do one thing and disappear.
And I didn't like that Laura Dern's character just introduced, and she's all important. She's gonna be the guy that we're all gonna turn to. And
well, I mean, they say she was the leader of one of the other 2 ships. That's why they're bringing her in to become the leader. But it would have been nice to establish her a little more, I guess. Because
that's what I mean.
Yeah, because they spend time establishing that other woman, the general, whose name I don't know. I don't know if they ever even say it in the movie. No. The one in the gray uniform with the wavy hair.
Oh yeah, no idea.
Yes. Yeah, they never really say her name, but she's there, and they spend time like establishing her, and that's why I figured, oh, she's gonna become the leader or something. No.
Nope. That Carrie Fisher's daughter was in the film.
Yeah, I liked seeing that she had a bigger part, Billie Lourd.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed her right from the first scene, and that was kind of cool because she was just in the background of the previous movie.
And it's like she had to do, Laura Dern's character, is just say, "Poe, trust me, there's a plan."
Yeah.
Or pull him aside and say, "Listen, motherfucker, I have a plan. Stop undermining me. Toe the line, because that's what I need you to do."
I believe I saw a meme going around, picture of Hondo with just underneath just says "fuck you, Poe." And it's just like, all right. That makes sense a lot better than what they did in the movie.
What they did in the movie, yeah. Again, that would have made sense. So she was just like, you know what? When he kept like pressing her, but just tell me the plan. I don't have to tell you the plan, motherfucker. Fuck off.
Exactly.
Like, whoa, this girl's, she's not taking any crap.
So yeah. So I mean, I'll definitely end up seeing it at least 1 or 2 more times. Not necessarily in the theater, but you know, once it comes out on home video and cable and everything else, I'll be watching.
I then came home right after that and immediately watched Rogue One because that was better.
You know, the first half of Rogue One really sucks. Half to 2/3.
First half. So when do you think it takes off?
When they get to the Rebel base and they're about to, and from there to the end of the movie, to do the big final mission.
Okay, I can see that.
Because a lot of just disconnected nonsense. Because there was the whole thing with the 2 directors and whatever, where they pulled the director off early and reshot a lot of things and whatever. And it shows. But once you get to that, like, we're going on our final mission, and it just becomes very straightforward. Yes. And there's just great how everything leads into one another like dominoes. It's like, oh, we need to plug that thing in over there. And he goes in, he gets killed. But then it's like, we need to do that. And the next guy does it and does it just in time. And he gets killed. And then it's literally dominoes of just people like sacrificing themselves for the greater good until ultimately the plans are sent into space and the planet is blown up. And then you have the handoff in the spaceship and Darth Vader just being a badass.
Yeah.
So,
And we see Princess Leia right there too.
It was a little scary looking Princess Leia with the whole CG thing.
Yeah.
Although I did like when they showed the original footage of the hologram Leia in Last Jedi.
Yes, I like that. And it was like, oh man, that was sad.
That was not fair, R2.
Yeah, that was cold. R2D2 is savage as fuck.
Yeah, so it was. So I think we both liked the movie then. We don't think it's perfect, but we enjoy it.
No, but nothing's perfect. That's fine.
And it makes me hopeful for the next trilogy, where Rian Johnson will be able to do what he wants fully.
Yes.
And on that note, we'll just hit a quick one because I watched a movie on your recommendation that I was going to watch anyway. But I caught some Jim and Andy this weekend.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
I loved it. I mean, I became a big Kaufman fan because of Man in the Moon.
Yes.
It just came out at the right time, and I just consumed everything. Before that, I had obviously heard of him. I'd seen some of his skits. I'd seen Taxi at least once or twice. But it was just so good to see how Jim Carrey was insane behind the scenes.
Absolutely insane. It was a demonic possession.
Yeah, and even he said it was just crazy for him doing the Andy stuff, where he was just out of body half the time. And when he finished, he was just like an exorcism, like Andy leaving his body and him going back to being himself. To the point where
that REM wanted him to reprise the role in a video.
Yeah, as I would say, his one regret, he didn't do the video because he's like, I couldn't go back to being Andy.
Yeah.
I had stopped and I couldn't do it one more time. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah. So instead, it's the band waiting around for him, looking for him. And
that was pretty funny how they shot that.
Yeah. Oh, that's what the video was back in the day. It's them kind of looking around going, where's Andy?
Yeah.
But again, I love that song. So it was good to hear that as well. Andy was the great beyond.
Without a doubt.
And it makes me want to watch some of his old specials and whatnot.
Yeah.
And some Tony
he did a late night talk show where he had a gigantic desk up on a scaffold, so he was high, and then up high, and then his guests sat in like a folding chair, like at regular level, So it was just funny stuff.
And then he wanted them to mess with the horizontal on it, so people would think their TVs were screwed up.
Yeah.
But did you know about Andy's kids show?
No, I did not.
All right, so back in the 80s, Andy wanted to do a children's show. And this is around the time he got really sick and had trouble selling it and whatever because of whatever. But to the point where Weird Al Yankovic had known about it and asked for his blessing to do a kids show. So the craziness that is like the Weird Al show from the early 90s is kind of the same idea, where it's, Andy being kid-friendly and wacky and whatever. Oh, no, sorry, not the Weird Al came later. No, sorry, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh, Pee-wee's Playhouse. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of that came from the Andy stuff. The Weird Al came later. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like I said, I read all those books back in the day, all of his biographies. And
so Paul Rubens went to him and said, hey, I'd like your blessing to do this?
Yeah. And Andy was like, yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so it's cool that, his legacy still lives on in, the comedians knew who he was and knew what he was about, even when like the audience didn't necessarily get him. But, he was a genius. And even now, like they're comedians copying him and aping all his shit.
Man. Such good stuff.
But it was. But it's like, I don't know. Like, it seems like all the comedians who aren't around anymore become, you know, people just steal their gimmicks.
Of course, because it's like, hey, that worked. So to get him over, so let me put my own spin on it.
Well, today is the 20th anniversary of the death of Chris Farley.
Damn.
And not only are there a lot of people like aping his shit at this point, but even he was a bit of a aping John Belushi back in the day.
Oh yeah, because he was such a big fan.
Yeah, but he was able to put a spin on it and kind of amp it up a bit and do it differently. That I think you watch them. There's definitely a difference between those.
Oh yeah,
but they're just comedians, actors and actresses now who just completely rip off like what he was doing.
I loved when he did the Chris Farley interviews and he interviewed Paul McCartney.
You remember when you made that album with the Beatles?
Remember when you were in that band, the Beatles?
Yeah,
that
I
was
do.
Cool.
That was awesome. Cool. Yes, I loved that. It was the most awkward, awful interviews. And I could watch those for hours.
Yeah.
But then it's like now you have what's her name? The one who's in Pitch Perfect, the blonde Australian.
Rebel
Wilson. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's complete Chris Farley.
She's doing that same thing. Yeah.
The only difference is she's Australian and female.
Yep.
Even Melissa McCarthy, I think, is way too over the top. Chris Farley. She does so much of that, and I think it just worked because he was, you know,
Melissa McCarthy essentially does the Black Sheep movie every time she plays a movie.
Yeah, because I mean, Chris Farley, like to me, had two characters. There was the understated, awkward guy, which is Black Sheep, and then there's the over-the-top guy, which is like living in a van down by the river.
Yes.
I mean, those were his two major
motivational
characters.
Speaker.
Yes. And then he also did things like that were like the skit with the interview, but like those were his two major characters.
Yeah.
There's just too many people like who are just doing those characters at this point. Like almost note for note. And Melissa McCarthy definitely does the van down by the river guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to blank on the character's name, but I used to think it was hilarious.
Oh, God. I can't remember his name.
It was so over the top and so hilarious that even like David Spade would crack up on set.
That first time he did it with David Spade and Helen Hunt.
That's who it was. I was trying to think of who the girl was.
You just see them covering their faces because they were laughing so much.
Yeah, they were just grabbing the pillows off the couch, covering their faces. Like, and it's just like they'd done rehearsals like to death. Like Saturday Night Live is a very rehearsed show by Saturday night. And the fact they'd seen it so many times and they still were losing it right there.
Yeah.
Like it was just a testament to his, you know, ability to make people laugh.
And he didn't break. He stayed in it and kept going, doing even more over the top, trying to get them to not hold it together.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was definitely like once he saw they were losing it, he's just like doing more and more, jumping into the table, does the belly flop into the table, and it's awesome. So I thought we needed to hit that from your hot pick a couple weeks ago, just because we keep saying we want to talk about it. I just couldn't find the time to watch till now. And I love Andy. And I need to go back. I need to get some Mighty Mouse in my life. Yes. I need to get some Foreign Man, you know, because Andy worked best when nobody knew who he was.
Yep.
And to Andy, I say, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Which brings us to those hot picks.
Hot picks.
Would you like to go first this week, Stugots?
I'm going to recommend a book.
A book, you say?
Here with me. But I know that we've discussed this book on the show once or twice, but I really wanted to hammer home its importance, and that is Shadows of the Empire.
Ooh, a classic.
It is a novel, but it was also a graphic novel. It was also a video game, but I don't know how that worked because I really don't play video games.
I played the game back in the day.
But if you want a book, a Star Wars story that further develops the characters that we love, like Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, not Han Solo, he's frozen.
Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar and Lando Calrissian, I'd read this book.
Yeah. So Shadows of the Empire was an experiment by the folks at Lucas to see if they could make a sequel that took place between Empire and Jedi and do everything the same way they did for the movies without a movie. So it was full merchandising. There was a soundtrack. There was a video game. There was toys. There was the book. There was the graphic novel, the comic books. And
they should have just made the movie.
Yeah, at that point. But back then they weren't doing that. Even had Boba Fett 1988 in there.
Yeah.
You know, so it was pretty much like complete fan service. You know, as they battled Prince Shisor in their fight to find Han Solo and get him back and to fight the Empire. Yes, I remember it back in the day. I remember being entertained by it.
Yep.
And I did play the video game. It was all right. So yeah. So my hot pick is something I haven't seen yet. Yeah, so I'm a pretty big Doctor Who fan. And every year there's a Christmas special. And since we're not doing a Christmas show, I'm picking this year's Christmas special, Doctor Who Twice Upon a Time.
Okay. I saw a preview for it when I saw Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, because I guess they're going to do the in-theater thing again.
Do it as a Phantom event, yeah.
Yeah. They do it. They've been doing it for the last few years. But they usually do it like 2 days after the show airs on BBC America, so I don't bother.
Okay.
I just watch it home on TV. So this one's
not bad.
So this one's notable because it's the final Peter Capaldi as the Doctor. His time is coming to an end, and he quote unquote regenerates into the next Doctor, who will be the first female Doctor. Plus, we have the first Doctor. Well, Hartnell's dead, but an actor portraying him. So we'll have the first Doctor, the 13th Doctor, and the 14th Doctor. So it'll be hopefully entertaining. And it's a big deal that this is the first woman to play Doctor Who.
Very big deal. People are so ass hurt over this.
You know, but that's the thing. Like, he could die and regenerate into anything. He doesn't even have to be human. Because, well, he isn't. But he doesn't have to look human.
Wait until the 16th Doctor is Grumpy Cat.
That'll be my favorite.
Yeah.
That will be fantastic. But yeah, so new showrunner for next year, new Doctor, and we're saying goodbye to the old Doctor. So it is something I am looking forward to.
Cool.
So we'll see how it goes. Into the next year, which is when we will see you all again. In the meantime, if you want to find more Geekodrome, check us out at geekodrome.co. You can subscribe to us on the iTunes if you'd like. And hey, if you like what you hear, rate us. Big thumbs up from us if you rate us.
Do it.
You want to talk to us? You know, we can hit us up at Geekodrome Pod on the Twitters and on the Facebooks. You can find us at Geekodrome Podcast. If you want to talk right to me, I am John. I can be found at Just John on the Twitters.
Hi, Just John.
How you doing? Stugots over there. Not only can he be found at Don Stugots on the Twitters.
Yes.
But he hosts the Eat Up on Monday nights on Facebook.
Yes.
Now, we've been withholding this question the entire show.
Okay.
How do porgs taste?
Like chicken, baby.
And how would you prepare porg on the Eat Up show?
I would probably take a couple and throw them into the slow cooker, right? With some Thai sweet Thai chile sauce from intensityacademy.com, and I'd let it sit on low for about 6 hours, and then I'd open it up. It'll fall right off the bone. It's tender. And it's juicy.
And then how would you serve it? I mean, are we talking?
I'd serve it on a bed of rice.
Oh, interesting.
With some mixed vegetables, like zucchini and some flour.
Yes. My mouth's watering. I need some pork here.
Yeah. Some good stuff.
And is the Eat Up show doing new episodes, or is that on hiatus for the holidays as well?
Nope. We have a show this week coming up. I will show. It'll be actually, I think it'll be an episode of Day Drinking. I will show you how to make a really quick and easy Christmas cocktail. Because everybody loves Christmas.
For sure. I'll be sure to tune in.
Awesome.
And hey, you have yourselves a good holiday. Happy Hanukkah.
Yourselves a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. A Happy New Year. A Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy holidays. I don't care what you
Boxing Day. Happy Greek New Year or Christmas or whatever they celebrate.
Little Christmas.
Little Christmas.
We'll be on the air before Little Christmas.
All right, good. So we can.
Because it's 10 days after Christmas. So
I didn't realize it was that far after. All right.
Yeah, it's 10 days.
So we will catch you on the flip side.
Yeah.
So be good to each other in these holidays and this new year. And remember, always be
choose.